Sam's Garage, presented by Hemsaw. We check back in with Sam and Doug at Hemsaw headquarters, where they're working on the new frame for the 57 Thunderbird. This episode, they're mocking up the rear half of the frame. The Coyote engine will be making plenty of horsepower, and the new rear end is beefed up to handle it.
Well, we're almost done with this frame build. Next, we're going to have to do the 4-link rear end with our 9-inch Ford housing that we got from Moser, 35 spline axles, LSD, torsion for that matter. This is going to be reinforced housing.
Yes.
It's going to make a lot of horsepower, and that rear end is going to be able to handle it no problem. Can't wait to get the 4-link in.
Yeah, it's going to be an awful lot of fun. You know, we're really fortunate to have Joe and Ron here doing the fabrication where we're helping them. Really, they're leading the show, and we're just giving them a hand. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to learn an awful lot as we go ahead and get ready to get started.
All right, what we're doing now is mocking up the rear end. We got the 4-link bars in place. We want to make sure to put the shocks in a place where they're going to travel up and down, not too much of an angle because you're going to lose dampening that way. You want them pretty up and down, a little bit of a rake. So we're making sure that that is correct. When you weld the brackets onto the housing, do a couple tacks, make sure it's perfectly level, the plane up and down. The bracket on the rear, you want to make sure that the bottom of the bracket is level with the bottom of the frame, and you want to make sure that you got clearance for the top of the arc right there on the top bar of the bracket. On the housing, you want to make sure you have a 3-degree rake per Moser axle. That's the instruction, so that you have no vibration in the pinion with the drive shaft going down the road. Now, after you guys have set one side, to make it easy for yourself, make sure that before you go on to the other side, that your bars are the same length left to right. That'll put your axle in the middle. There is adjustability, but you want to make sure that when you're starting it, lower is going to be a little bit longer due to the positioning of the hardware. I did put a U on that side for the upper bar, knowing which one's on the upper and which one goes in the lower. That'll save you guys some time.
This came with their kit from Scott's, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make some changes on it to get our right shock angles on it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut the bar, we're going to mount it, we're going to mount the pieces onto it to mount the shock. And then after we have the shock mounted, then what we're going to take a look at is how is our Panhard rod going to mount. And it's always important that when your ride height's all the way down, this is level. Because as the rear end goes up and down, you just want to go through a small angle change, and that always keeps the rear end solidly underneath the car as you're going on down the road and making those turns.
Now, Justin from Scott's Hot Rods sent us a kit, 4-link kit for a factory 57 Thunderbird frame. That's why we're having to modify a few pieces, because we made our own frame.
Any of your suspension bolts, you want to go with a grade 8, not a grade 5. And most times people figure it out, the markings on top of the bolt. If there's 6 markings on her, that's going to be a grade 8 bolt. And we use a grade 5, it will be 3 marks.
Why?
And they always ask that question, and that's the manufacturer, the way they did that.
Yeah, and it's a tensile strength. You want something, a grade 8 is a lot stronger bolt than a grade 5.
The majority of the washers are stamped out washer. The bottom and the top, there's the top and the bottom, as a lot of people don't know. The bottom side is going to be the flat side because it's stamped out that way, and the top is the radius, the rounded side. So always put your flat side down.
Doesn't that look awesome? 4-link, 9-inch rear end, 35 spline axles. This thing's gonna handle all the horsepower that we're gonna put to it and give you some peace of mind knowing that it's gonna be strong.
Absolutely. There's a few more little items we have to go ahead and finish up on this. We've got to put some stiffeners on into it. The Panhard rod has got to go in. A lot of that stuff we're not going to do until we go ahead and get the body onto it so we know what our ride heights are. And Joe and Ron, thank you guys. We couldn't have done it without you. We really appreciate it. Fabulous job.
Having you guys experience onto this project has been really nice. Thank you so much for allowing us to work with you. It's been a great pleasure. I can't wait for you guys to come back to Sam's Garage next season and finish it up.